What's going on? And welcome to Black Kings Free Game. Everyone, man, it's Thursday, y'all. It's Thursday. I don't know what else to say, but it's Thursday and I'm glad to be here. And today, we have someone special with us. We have Miss Griggs. I don't know if y'all can hear me because I can't hear myself on my mic. But you can't hear me either? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see.
I can hear you.
It's not too clear. Now
there you are.
Yeah.
You wasn't in the mic.
Anyways, welcome to Black Kings Free Game. Today we have Ms. Griggs with us. She is running for Congress. Ms. Griggs is about her business. You hear me? Lieutenant Colonel Joyce Griggs.
Colonel.
In the building. And we're delighted to have you, Ms. Griggs. How was your week?
It's been exciting. It's been exhilarating. It's been tiring.
I know that's
been uplifted, and all those things. A lot of adjectives, but it's been great. And I'm blessed.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we all try to stay blessed up out here.
I know.
A lot of people sometimes make it difficult because we got to deal with other people's emotions towards us.
That's true.
So, King Eddie, how was your week? And I'm sorry, I gotta be saying Lieutenant Colonel because that's just an accomplishment.
Yep.
But she is a queen to us also. So,
thank you.
Queen Griggs, thank you for coming. But King Eddie, how was your day or your week?
Busy, man. Working and waiting on my little one to come in.
Oh,
yeah, it's any time now. So we're excited. Every day is just like is it? Nah. All right. We'll wait. My wife can wait. She's excited about the new edition. I'm having a princess.
Oh yeah,
but a queen in the making.
A queen in the making. That is exciting. Now, Eddie, how many do you have so far?
This will make 3. I have one that I have outside of my marriage, and then you have our goddaughter, who's Kalia. So this will be number 3.
Number 3. And y'all, just so y'all get it right, no, it didn't have it outside his marriage. He had it before his marriage.
Oh yeah. So my bad.
We don't want.
I want my wife trying to kill me when she crazy.
Will. So Eddie, hold on, because I'm from New York. Watch what you say out your mouth.
Yeah. Don't embarrass me in front of people.
Don't embarrass me. Look. So, with your week and your excitement with everything that's going on, especially with you having a new one, man, I'm excited for you. We just had the baby shower.
Yeah. And
that baby shower was off the chain.
Yes, it was.
Look, I was very, very impressed. It looked like it was, y'all ever seen Bridezilla? You ever seen the show Bridezilla? Look, it was baby shower Zilla.
Wow.
Look, I'm talking about she came in with the sequence dress.
Oh.
I'm talking about with the little baby bump. That bump.
Yeah, the people, everybody who was involved in it, Ebony, Farina, my wife, myself, a taste of Philly, I think it is, the food that it came from. It was Miss Wanda Henry's. Post I shouted out on our post, and also CC Balloons and Events. They were the one who put the whole vision together. Something they had never did before, and you couldn't even tell they had never did it before.
Wow!
So they're really good at. So I wanted to send a shout out to everybody who had, and also Kim, everybody who had involved in it. Yourself, who was the MC.
I was one of the MCs.
One of them.
Ida that y'all saw on the show earlier that week. She was the other one, and I'm talking about magnificent chemistry on that. Eddie, congratulations, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I live right across the street, so
right?
You just excited as me. So it's it's anticipating. But let's get back to the.
Oh yeah. I've got to give out the accolades because we're talking to a lieutenant colonel. And not only lieutenant colonel, she is a Bronze Star Medal recipient.
Oh, wow.
She's also the Army Commendation Medals, Defense Meritorious Service, Global War on Terrorism Service Medals, and also the parachute badge. Am I saying that correct?
Parachutist.
Parachutist. I'm talking about parachutist.
That's a lot. For those who are in the military, know that's a lot to accomplish.
Brother.
I'm just mad that the lieutenant didn't bring in a coin. Oh yeah, you didn't think he was gonna run into somebody who knew, huh?
Well, first of all, yeah. What was that? She would have gave me a coin or you a coin? Which?
Well, she probably gave it to you because you was here, but I probably took it from you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, maybe one day when I see her again,
Yeah.
but hey, you know what?
Yeah,
I would love that. I would be honored.
Yeah, I had to put her on the spot a little bit.
Yeah, look, it's all good.
Yeah.
So, also a little bit more background. Hope it's not too much in your business. I understand your father's name was Sammy.
That's right.
Sammy Griggs. And also we have a lot in common. I just want to let you know, like, your favorite actress is Cicely Tyson.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I like Cicely.
You see that? Your boy on point. And there are some things that you're doing right now as far as, you're going for Congress.
Correct.
What are some of the things with the Congress of what we got going on now that that you can be effective in?
Well, number one, being military, my heart is with the military, number one.
Yes, ma'am.
All of my brothers were in it. There were 10 of us.
Oh, wow.
And I had 4 brothers, and all of them were in the military. Oldest brother was Navy. Next brother was Army. Matter of fact, he was stationed at Fort Bragg, 82nd. And that's how I became interested, because we visited there one weekend because I was in college in Durham, and we saw them marching, and I was so impressed. They had their boots, spit shine boots, and their pants, blouse. I mean, they were strapped, maroon beret, all that good stuff. I mean, there were really a lot of pride, particularly then, with military. But anyway, make a long story short, I go, boy, I was in college, but I go, I wouldn't mind, joining the Army. So ultimately I did. And it was different, because I grew up in a very small town with a one stoplight back then. We don't have any stoplights now. And you know how the roads, the major highways cut through your town and block you out. So I grew up in a small town, and we had maybe 1 or 2 grocery stores, but it was primarily agriculture. We worked in the fields. So I know how to work. But what I was about to say, let me answer that question. Military, in this area, there's such a large military population. Yes. And I don't believe that we are properly, the veterans, large veteran population too, are not properly being served. And I believe, and I do, and not just believe, I know we need someone in Congress that has been there, done that, boots on the ground, that understand what the service member is going to, whether they're active or they're retired or, spent some time in whatever capacity. Yes, so I think, number one, we need somebody that understands that. And I do, because I've been there, done that, boots on the ground. Also, another thing that bothers me is that healthcare. And black people, we as black people, we have more of anything than any other group. We have more diabetes, more high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, everything. More of everything than money. Okay? And with this health care in Georgia now, I think the governor refused to sign that Medicaid expansion. Okay? And we really need that. Number one, I want to point out, a lot of people may not be aware of this, but the maternal mortality rate in Georgia is among the highest in this country and even the world, really. There are more black women dying in childbirth. Oh, wow. And that shouldn't be. That should not be, okay? And it's absolutely sad. So we're being looked over in a lot of respects, okay? So definitely health care, the military, our economy. What can we do about that? Unfortunately, you got the ultra rich, the 1%, the billionaires, and they're making a lot of laws, a lot of rules. They're passing certain tax cut measures for the wealthy, the ultra rich, whereas the working class people, I mean, they end up having to pay taxes a lot of time. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And so we need to work on the tax code, and come up with some good positive steps on the economy. Homelessness. homelessness. I mean, this is America.
Exactly.
And boy, you see people. I mean, some of them are homeless. I know are out begging, etc., because they chose it. But some of them are homeless because they have no choice.
They have no choice.
Okay, and what bothers me is all this money we are sending to these different countries. Okay,
Who you telling now?
I mean that's sad. Trillions of dollars, billions of dollars to Ukraine.
That-
Okay,
Thank you.
I mean really now, and I think we
she
need
was supposed to say that. Get our back her.
right.
Yeah, she
Maybe I
was.
wasn't supposed to say that, but I'm saying it because it's
I'm just
wrong.
messing
You know, I
with
know. But then, the taxpayers are paying all this money, and they can barely make a living. They can barely feed their families.
That's right.
Don't have health care. That is absolutely ridiculous. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and our morals have literally gone to hell. I'm gonna be
Yes.
honest with you.
You're right.
We're
You're
passing laws in Washington where now you got to say he, and some people might get mad with me.
Yeah.
I don't care, but I'm telling the truth.
Yes.
He, she, it, they, and even they passed laws now that you got to say it like
Yes,
that.
yes.
And you got, you
Or you
gotta,
get penalized.
You sure do, or you might get fired.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And that is sad. We're bringing a national reproach on America.
Yes.
Okay. And Vice President Kamala Harris went to Ghana and said that they were going to withdraw funds, and some other African countries. They were going to withdraw funds, Uganda, Ghana, and because we were committing human rights violations because those countries, they were committing human rights violations
Because they wouldn't adapt to what
That's
we want
exactly
them to
right.
do.
And you know what? I was proud of what that gentleman told him. He was some official.
Yes.
He said, listen, we make our laws for our country.
You're right.
Okay? You make your laws, but now America got a lot of problems. So you don't come over here telling us what to do.
Exactly.
Okay. So, but anyway, there's a lot of issues that I'm passionate about. And what bothers me now is, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, et cetera, it was passed to try to correct some of the wrongs that black people suffered.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
We've been swept under the rug.
that's exactly.
Let's be real.
They used it. They hijacked it for these other groups.
Oops.
Okay.
Look, let me stop you right there. Look, I'm going to tell y'all something and be real right now. If y'all are talking about y'all want change, y'all want everything else right, but y'all are not putting the people that are fighting for the positions that have a passion behind it and a mind for it to know not only to be passionate but also execute in a professional manner. And this is what's being forgotten. Everybody's going off this emotional base on what other people are telling you should be doing, right?
Right.
But in your heart, what you find your own truths, but you don't want to say it because other people are going to, oh no, really? That is complete crap. Right. Seriously. And if we continue to go down this path, where are we headed? You were making this, and I'm going to do this on my own, but I'm going to say this. You're completely right. How is it that we fought all of these years, right?
Yeah.
To try to point ourselves in the right direction. And then they come to the belief that we don't get propagandized to change our minds, and then all of a sudden somebody swoops in, takes all of our work, researches it, and then takes and skyrockets their own agenda.
Exactly.
And what do? We sit there and lock key into, oh yeah, I believe that too. I'm a lock in, and now forget about the rights. We're all equal now. Is that what the wool that's been pulled over your eyes?
Right.
Because yes, there are opportunities out there and there's ways to take advantage of it. But let me tell you something. If you don't come from a background that had taught you how to take advantage of it, right? Which means if you have a family that was blinded or ignorant to the fact of how to move forward, because all the education, all the tools that they said, oh yeah, you got that, you can get it, but they put it out of their reach.
Right.
How are you going to correct your generations then?
I know. Yeah, you're right. There's so many issues in America now. There's so much going on, and it's disgusting, really, what we see. So I'm saying, what about our children?
Yes.
I mean, really, what about our children? And another thing that bothers me is that they've opened the borders and just like, I mean, we've got a lot of terrorists already here.
Yeah, what?
I mean, a lot.
Who you
so
telling?
It's not a matter of when they're going to do something. not if.
If they're
it's
gonna
just when.
win.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's disturbing because the government, look at New York, they're giving them thousands of dollars a month to live.
Yes.
Okay, in high level hotels.
Hotels.
Okay, and then we got those Americans out here who have worked, paid into the system, and they're homeless.
And they're homeless.
I mean, really. And I mean, I know that people get food stamps, but look at how everything has gone up, and that is so sad.
Yes.
Okay, and everybody has hijacked. What this, like I said before, what the civil rights was supposed to have been for us. And see, also, a lot of people may not know this, but women, white women, are considered minorities. So what
Are
is
you serious?
Yeah, long time
I did
ago.
not know that.
So what has happened is their husband may have had the money to get a company or whatever. So what they do is they put their wife up there because she will be eligible for more contracts because she's considered a minority. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I guess you learn something every day. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, really,
did not know that.
they have really hijacked everything against us.
Wow.
Okay. And then this,
Wow.
I'm just talking in general, this Me Too movement
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
It was started by some black women because they were abused, sexually abused, this and other. White women hijacked that.
Hijacked
And
that
a lot
too.
of them got paid. And black women didn't.
Didn't.
You understand?
You're right.
I mean, really, let's be real.
Yeah.
And now some people might get mad with me about this. I know that a woman's body is her body,
Yes.
but we also have to look at who created us. And what I want to say is this: I have never seen such fight about this abortion issue, and I want to enlighten some people that may not know. Margaret Sanger.
The starter. Yep.
Right, Margaret Sanger.
She's a gifted.
Matter of fact, she was one of Hitler's. She embraced Hitler's philosophy about this pure race.
Yes.
Okay, eugenics is what it's called. And what she said, and people need to realize is that black folks were not considered human. That we were not human. So what they wanted to do was annihilate us. Okay, genocide, if you will. And so she started this, was really influential in this abortion movement. Okay, now they call it health care. That's what they call it. Okay, and now they've passed all kind of laws where the EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity, has gotten involved, and an employer has to allow a woman to take off to go get an abortion if she has to go to another state. It's so mixed up now. We are so, and do you know how many black babies have been aborted?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, okay.
Look, and
Okay.
and you hitting it on the head, and not only that, the way that social media is
Yes.
now, we are pent against each other.
We are.
We're pent against each other, everybody, because just like every day that I go out, and I'm gonna hit on something else you said too. I go out every day, and the men that I see men like Eddie. I see men like the ones that I hang out with. Period. The ones that's in this neighborhood, Eddie. They're men with their families.
Yep.
Right.
Now, when you start going some other places, you see where the division and divide is, and where the family structure is.
Oh, it's been destroyed. Okay, and let me just say this. You know, back in the day, it started when they started putting families, people in projects.
The welfare.
But the man could not be there.
Yes.
Okay, in order to get welfare. So what did they do? They've constructively destroyed the family. And the family is such a precious entity in God's eyesight because he created the man and the woman and the family. But the government has destroyed it, and they're continuously destroying it. And also they're putting a lot of black men in jail. You know there's slavery in America. You know how?
Yeah.
If
Free
you're
labor.
in prison, you are considered a slave. Because the Constitution talks about there should be no incident bans of slavery except you in prison. Okay, so there's slavery. Okay, there's legal slavery by putting them in prison. There's so much is so wrong. But I mean, let me tell you, I still wouldn't trade America
Yeah, yeah,
for
I
any
got
other
you.
country.
I
Okay,
got you.
because I've traveled, I've been there.
Yes.
All right, but we are so off beat now. We're so
Off base.
Off base.
Everything's been hijacked.
It has. And let me say this, and I'll keep my mouth closed.
You're
But,
good.
you know, at one time, black folks, now everybody say, well, you got to vote Democrat. You got to vote Democrat. Think about it now.
Think
about it.
Go ahead. Speak it.
Okay?
Speak it.
Okay. I call them Democrats.
Yeah, hey.
Demon. Okay? I mean, they are taking us literally to hell. Okay? Black folks back when were party of Lincoln, the Republican Party.
It was a Republican.
It was, okay.
They started it.
Right.
Yes.
And then during Daddy King's Day, it starts switching over to Democrats. Okay. And boy, the Democratic Party have used us. They have abused us. I think even was it Biden said once that you're not black.
You ain't vote for me.
Right. Something like that. Come on now. Really?
In our face.
And
did the 1994 crime bill.
Sure.
And Kamala Harris went right behind it and prosecuted I don't know how many of us.
Exactly right.
Now, and don't get it twisted, y'all. We never said that we were voting for a specific person. What we're doing is bringing light to you to understand that the people that they're putting in front of our face that they say that we should vote for is off base, everyone.
Yes.
Where are the other candidates for the Democratic spots?
Right.
Why couldn't we have a choice on something better? Right. And if y'all don't understand that, then you really are brainwashed because we've been sitting around here being told what we should do.
Right, we are.
And we go straight forward without calling BS when we see it. And this is a discussion we've had before, right? But at the same time, it's great. I want to take it back to.
Sorry.
No. You're good. You're good. I want to take it back to the point where you were talking about how they were separating our families. Everybody thinks that when I talk about that, oh no, you just saying that never happened. There are people right now. My older generation of folks that remember when there was a guy that came to their door to tell them, hey, the government will give you $25 a week. And back then that was a lot of money. Right. But the whole thing was they were like, well, does your husband stay here? Are you married?
A man.
Right? And they said, well, we can't give it to you if your husband's here. Right. Now you think about what type of decision that family had to make. Because if somebody said, we're going to give your family $25, that husband is going to say, man, I'm out here working. And that $25 will help out a lot. So what I'll do is I'll go stay at my uncle's or I'll go stay at my grandma's or I'll go stay here. And guess what ended up happening, y'all? The family structure started breaking down.
And it was planned.
Yes.
It was planned that way. And people need to realize, just like this war on drugs, okay? They knew how to put that crack into the black neighborhood.
You talking about the Contra plan?
Okay.
That's public information that everybody can look up?
That's right. Now. Okay, all this stuff against us as a people, a lot of it's been planned, okay?
Yes.
And unfortunately, they pulled a lot of us into it.
Yes.
I mean, really, they have. And we need to, and the Bible even says that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And somehow, some way, we've got to open our eyes, okay? Now, and I'll say this, just like with Farrakhan, right? I don't agree with a lot of stuff he does.
Yes.
But the man, he tells it like it is when it comes to black people and our economics, okay? Yes. Just like with Dr. King. Yeah, it was great. It had to happen. But I say the integration hurt us. No, it destroyed us. Okay?
Ooh, that's a whole nother topic. Because
you know what I'm saying?
Because if you really understand what it was about, let me give you a brief synopsis. That whole thing about freeing the slaves was more about money than it was about just freeing people.
It was economics.
What was happening, yes, economics. What was happening up north, they had to pay people. Okay, well, no matter what color you were, the majority of people they had to pay. Down south, they had all of the ports, and they had free labor. They were able to export quicker and get everything done. And the north said, "Hey, man, look, they becoming a real big economic power. They're gonna be able to take over soon. We got to do something about it because if we don't free them people, they really gonna be an economic power." So that's a little brief synopsis on that, so you can get an understanding of what it is. Yes, we're happy that there was a time in a period where they said, "Oh yeah, we got a freedom," but we get so locked in on the freedom and not understand why the freedom occurred. And a lot of these things, Lyndon B. Johnson. Look, you remember when JFK got taken out, right? Then you had, which you can look up, the most racist candidate step into the position, right? and it was Lyndon B. Johnson, I believe it was. Am I
That
correct?
came in after.
Right when JFK got assassinated. I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson, and what they did was they explained the plan to him because he didn't want to sign the Civil Rights Act, but he had to because that was something that was already imposed. But then he went right into the welfare system. And that's when he started separating. He's like, oh, yeah, I love this plan. This is good. So they can't get money as long as there's a family structure there. But if they eliminate the family structure, we can give them money, and then they'll start depending on us, and they'll never learn how to do better. You ever, not that I know about this, y'all, not that I know about this, but you ever met a pimp? You ever met a pimp? A person that would call themselves a pimp? We're not talking. Oh, okay. So what normally pimps do, right, is a pimp will say, "Hey, baby, go out there and make me that money and bring me all the money back," right? Give him all the money, and the pimp will say, "All right, here, baby, I'm gonna give you $20, and I'll take you out to get the little things that you want, but that's when I'm gonna give you just enough. I'm gonna give you just enough so you can go do a little bit." But you'll never have enough to save up to leave. So when you flip that around and you look at the way that the process is for all of this free things that they give out, they're giving you just enough to keep your mouth quiet.
Exactly.
But never enough to stack up and leave.
Exactly.
There's 4 generations in government housing now. You would see the great grandma, the grandma, the mother, and now the daughter. All of them still in good, and got different houses thinking that they live in that. That's right. I got my grandma right over there, and they proud of it.
Right. And it's a cycle. You see,
It's a cycle.
That's right. It's that vicious cycle, and it was planned. We got to realize all this stuff was planned against us.
That's conspiracy, Ms. Griggs.
Sure, yeah, I hear you.
That's conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's no way that if you have a single family household, right, and then they raise up your little boys, right, and then the little boys never leave, right, and now the little boys that grew up, right, they become the OGs, right, and then the little kids that come up, who do they look up to?
Right.
The OGs are the ones that never had a figure of what a man is, right, or how to have family structure.
And that's it right there. Speaking of that, okay, there's studies everywhere where they're talking about the reason a lot of these kids get caught up in different stuff because the male image is missing out of the family.
Yes.
He has nobody to emulate except for the brothers in the hood, you know?
Exactly.
And they embrace him and they pull him in. That's how they get in the gangs and everything. But they have no male image in the home, and they need that. The girls need it too.
Yes, of course.
Okay, but those boys need to be able to say, "Oh, I want to be like my pop," you know, or whatever.
Yes.
But anyway,
that is correct. But when you say things like that, people tend to think, "Oh well, nah, what you're doing is attacking women." Nobody's attacking our beautiful women. We know that it's a struggle, but what we have to do is change our thought process to understand. Look, it's not you. We're trying to attack that system that got you to believe in it.
Yeah.
You got to stop believing in that system and understand that we are more stronger together. Right now, we got to fight with this. Is it safer to be with a man than a grizzly bear?
Okay.
Now you got a 4B movement, whatever. I don't know how they're going to conquer that. And then you have other people eternalizing other people's trauma. Ms. Griggs, Queen Griggs, excuse me. I ask you this. When I was growing up in school, I learned history. Never heard of Black Wall Street a day in my life when I was in school. Never heard about Oscarville near Atlanta. I did hear about Rosewood, but I knew about that because of a movie.
Yeah.
Right? So when I start looking back at what these places were, those were places created by us, formed cities by us, and that was the closest to our trauma ever. But now we didn't advanced out, and now we supposed to, it's trauma. Everything is because of trauma. But then we had stuff together. Our family structures are intact. We were creating banks. We were creating communities, and then they were destroyed. And now the history books didn't have that in there. They didn't say, hey, when y'all were building people came in there and destroyed it, and the government was involved with
That's
it.
what I'm going to say. The government. Yeah.
The government was involved with destroying the city,
Yeah.
dropping bombs, and the last survivor, the lady is 109 years old.
Yeah.
And y'all can look that up if y'all think that I'm telling
No,
you. Hey, research me.
Right.
Look at what I'm saying. So, if these things happened when we were supposedly the closest to the trauma, we were just freed, right? But yet we went out there with nothing and created something because our bond was tight. And now they would have you believe that every man, especially every black man, is the most violent person in the world, and that you can never build anything with them. But I'm gonna say this, Ms. Grizz, and you can slap my hand if I'm wrong. I'm gonna hold it out there. I'm gonna hold it out there. So slap it if it's wrong. Now, look. So right now, the men that a lot of women are complaining about nowadays are the ones they raised. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right.
It's the one they raised. And yet alone, maybe even if it's by yourself or not, still I can say, oh yeah, that's not all your fault because maybe you didn't have a role model. But guess what? Even the role models you could have in your life, they taught you to look beyond and that they were all bad. And yet, I remember programs when we had structure, and I know a lot of people don't like them no more, but I don't care. I'm going to speak it. We had The Cosby Show. We had Living Single for single ladies. We had A Different World. We had a lot of family shows.
Family Matters.
It was black
Family
leaders.
Matters.
Now I'm looking at television shows, and I see an average-looking white guy with a beautiful black woman, but is head of household. Name the first black show that you know that's out there right now, guys. Name the show. Don't say black-ish, because black-ish is ish. Why is it gotta be? Don't say that. That's not a real. You know what I'm saying? It's a good show, but that's more of a comical show. It's not showing the diversity and everything like it's supposed to. But you name the shows, y'all.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really watch TV no more.
Now, I get
either,
that,
right.
but a lot of our youth are watching because just like when we were little, right? We had shows that we connect to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we would take pride into, because I remember watching The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
I would sit down, my mom would sit down, we'd sit back, watch The Cosby Show, and it would be times, especially when Theo wanted to get a girlfriend. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
When Theo wanted to get a girlfriend, right? He said, all right, here, he gave Monopoly money. He said, you going to have a place to stay? He said, yep. You going to have such and such? Yep. You going to have a girlfriend? Yep. Give me all that. But at the same time, he's teaching his son responsibility.
Right.
He's teaching him real life facts. And it was done in a wholesome way. Nowadays, where is the wholesome unity? I want unity, queens, kings. I want unity. There's no reason we should be fighting against each other.
No.
There's no reason we should be internalizing someone else's trauma. And let me tell you this, there are very bad men out here. But it is a minority of them.
Right.
Not a majority. And that's what that's what we need to get to. We need to get to that. I'm sorry, Queen.
No, that's
Griggs.
okay. No, that's okay. And you know what? Speaking of that, we got to have some prison reform. There has been some. Remember, they used to give a harsher sentence for the rock as opposed to the powder. Okay, and they said that, and I'll use this term, I don't really like it, that the rock was a black man's drug of choice and the powder was the white man. So the sentence, there was a sentence disparity. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, there was a sentence disparity, and more black men went to jail behind one rock. I mean, really,
A rock.
And that powder is much more potent than
the
that
rock.
one rock.
Because they cut that with so much. I don't know why. I don't know nothing about it.
Right,
but
but
they
yeah,
cut
you
it
read
with
it,
so
right.
much.
But so we still need reform in our judicial system also.
Yes.
Okay, we do. And then they start passing all these laws, 3 strikes.
And you're out.
And then it's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
And they say recidivism. So you get 20 years this time, and something that's not non-violent offenses.
You're not talking about the 1994 crime bill, are you?
Come on now.
Oh, well, who did that 1994 crime bill? Do you remember? Who was the head of that 1994? Oh, that was Joe Biden.
Yeah,
that's right.
He's
My
done a
bad.
lot of stuff against us.
But now we can forgive that because we're forgiving people.
Yeah, we are very.
I mean, I guess with his older age, well, dang, he was older back then. But I guess that his mind state changed on that a little bit. But I don't know. I don't know. But I do know one thing. If I don't see you sitting down with the people that have all their leaders have been assassinated, and since Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, I don't know any bigger leaders that have anything together except for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm trying to think of the other public, because I'm not talking about a Jesse Jackson or none of them. Even though I still have respect for those guys, but what I'm talking about is when you have a whole community and everything behind you, that you're standing up and we're actually doing more marches in the street, not when we just see one of our own down or gunned down,
Right.
And then we're not out here when we gun down each other.
I know.
Why are we not still in the uproar? Like, hey, why did you do that?
Exactly. That's what I say too. I mean, we need to be in an uproar when we kill each other.
Yes.
It's a self-hatred though that we have.
that's the key right there. That self-killing.
Yes.
Because it's like, why are we gonna give you some rights if you're gonna turn around and kill yourself
anyway?
Right.
Like look how the LGBT community has grown because they stick together.
They stick together.
No matter what creed, it's to the point to where police officers are scared of them.
Yeah.
They're scared of them.
Yeah.
If you say you're part of that community, see that thing, they're willing to let you go compared to seeing a black man in a car.
Exactly.
So it's
they
all
fight
about
harder.
sticking together.
You can't even knock them. You can't knock nobody for doing something, because you stick together. You stick
They
together.
stick together.
And once again, we don't have anything against the community.
No.
All due respect, what we're trying to do now is we're trying to get our community together so we can understand how to fight together again. Earlier we were talking about the immigration reforms and things that we got going on, that all of the people that would terrorize us is already in the country, right?
Yeah.
Right now, there are college campuses that are shut down,
Yep.
and I've never seen in those other countries where they shut down any of their programs to protest for America.
That's right. Now you're exactly right.
I've seen flags burned.
Yep.
I've seen all types of things hurled at us.
Yeah.
But now, I guess, no, that's not right. Like, I'm trying to understand how we in that conflict, and they think that now you want us to step up and just stop something that's happening between two other people that really has nothing to do with us. I guess, we're supporting it. Once again, we gave money away.
Mega bucks.
And we got homeless people here. We have homeless veterans. We have veterans with illnesses that need help. We have families that are struggling to even buy gas.
Some of them are living in their cars.
In their car. Man, I just saw a family living in their car the other day. That's sad.
It breaks your heart. Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, a lot of them, a high percentage of them are veterans.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
People
saying.
don't even understand. Like, I think it's like 60% of homeless people are veterans.
Yes.
That's crazy to me.
It is.
It's always been crazy how backwards we are here. Like,
Really?
you see these, and I don't knock anything against athletes and stuff like that, but they're making millions and millions of dollars.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And we have people who, like, coming up. If you look at the structure of how you're paid in the military, like, it doesn't equivalent to how much they give their life, and not only just life, but how much they're away from their families,
Sure.
how much they're struggling, know, and like until you like high in rank in the military, if you ain't get to that ESEC stuff, you're kind of like literally living paycheck to paycheck.
Right. And a lot of military own food stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Food stamps.
Yes, and then once they get the call, they got to get out and get to stepping about you.
Yeah.
And right now, we have people against us in our own country. Let me tell you this right here. America is not perfect. It's not perfect. Do you understand me? But that's why I think that youth should get a pass to countries in the world. They need to see how other countries are.
They do.
Because when I went to Africa, it is a beautiful place, but the structure is off. They are trying their hardest. Beautiful place, but you can see how the infrastructure. They take all of the materials. It kind of swooped them. You know what I'm saying? America kind of swooped, like, hey, we need all of your resources, right? And we'll give you money. But the way we gonna give you money, we'll give it to this person, and we'll let that person disperse it out the way it needs to be, right? Instead of saying, hey, I tell you what, when we get your materials, we'll help build your infrastructure, so your water will be right, your roads will be right, the way that they're not doing that. It's like going into a classroom full of people that don't know anything, right? That they're trying to build off of just what they see on television. No lie. They're trying to build an economy off what they see on television to try to mimic it. And then you have people that are here that is trying to send that information back to build the country up better. But sometimes you're going to bump head because it's not an understanding. You can't understand when you're just trying to live. There's so many people dedicated to jobs there that might not get paid for months.
Yeah, that's true.
Might not get paid for months. I went there and it was beautiful. The people are beautiful. And then all you hear, oh, you better not go to Africa. It's dangerous. You in America.
America's dangerous.
We got more violence than any other country. Look, if you look at it, in the Ukraine war, I don't know these numbers, but I'm going to tell you this. I guarantee you that we are rivaling whatever's going on in the Ukraine war just here in America on regular domestic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not hearing a whole bunch of violence going on in schools or kids in other countries having to duck under tables or run drills on how to protect themselves in case somebody comes into a school. Because the difference is here we're losing more and more respect because we're not putting our foot down somewhere, y'all. We want to put our foot down on other things to appease and make everybody happy.
Yeah.
And the basic people that's been fighting, the minorities that have been fighting for years, didn't get that right. We say, hey, we'll skip you, come right back. We'll do something when it affects us. We'll do something when it affects us. We were talking about illegal things, illegal people coming into the country illegally. There was a Caucasian girl. It's a terrible thing that happened to her, right? She was raped, I'm going to say raped, and also taken advantage of. In 2 days, they passed a bill against.
Right. That's interesting, isn't it?
In 2 days. In 2 days, they passed a bill. And we've been fighting for over more than 400 years plus. And we can't even get anybody to talk about any type of, I'm going to say reparations. And the reparations has to go into a very, very good form to where it's not only you just giving people just money.
Right.
We need that land. We need that education. Yeah, we need that education. We need that financial teaching so that we can stand together and actually build again. Because what you did to those people who are still going with that agenda, it worked. It's still working. We are separated and we the same. You got other people like us fighting for other people's causes, gaining more traction, and then those people step back and let you take it over. One thing in the feminist movement, it started with some certain people, right? Those people say, "Oh, we want voting rights. We want voting rights. We want voting rights." Right? They did that, and then they stepped their butt back, and then all of a sudden, here go the other people running with it because our women have very, very powerful voices, and people tend to listen. That is, I'm talking about. You cannot stand up against a queen when she has passion about a topic, and I stand behind our queens on that. Do you understand me? You hear me?
Right. But did you know? Most know that women, black women in particular, are suffering more physical illnesses and diseases now like never before. Okay, because of all the stress that's put on the black women, and that feminist movement, it basically benefited the other group more so than us, and we got caught up in a lot of the stuff. And
Yes.
again, that's where it helped disintegrate the family. Back to the family.
Well, they had this thing called Cosmopolitan magazine back in the day.
I think they still got it. I'm not sure.
I want y'all to read about that. I just want y'all to Google how did the Cosmopolitan magazine affect the movement of women. See, I think it was back in the 1970s. I'm not going to dig all the way into it because once again, is she just talking to talk? It's conspiracy. No, these are actual facts, y'all. And I'm going to say something to the kings out there, the men. Listen to me. You better start stepping up and understanding who you are. Start stepping up and understanding who you are. Listen, because there are deadbeat kings out there. You understand? You don't know who you are. You're out here thinking that you're making children, and that's all you can do is make children and keep it moving and don't do anything with your life. You get your butt back there and start taking care of your children. I was once a young knucklehead. I didn't know no better, but guess what? I started growing up and I started learning. See, that part is not no excuse. When you grow up and you know better, what'd you say? My people perish for the lack of knowledge, right? So when I became knowledgeable, I had to start acting on that knowledge that I learned. I was wrong at one point. And I had to start taking accountability. Accountability is big. Accountability is big because in one group, they teach you that we are the ones that we don't know no better. And we don't know how to be one and all of that, right? But at the same time, we have forced accountability. Eddie, you got forced accountability on you by this government. Did you know that? I tell you what, I dare you to have a one-night stand and the baby come from it, right? I tell you what, these are your options. These are your options.
I can't do that now.
No, I already know that.
You know I gotta go home.
Look, I'm not doing that.
You don't have me answering a question like that knowing I gotta go home. I love you, baby.
Look, I'm saying, say that happens, right? She goes to that office, you got child support.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Point blank, period. That's all right. So now let's look at the option on the other side. Say that maybe she doesn't want to have it. She don't have to have it. Right? Cool. Say she does have it. Right? Say that she still doesn't want the baby. There's things that they call fire boxes. At the firehouse, you can go drop the kid off. Baby safe, boom. You can take it to the hospital, baby safe, boom. Right? All these things exist, but there's no accountability on one side. It's like, well, I can do what I want to do. And what's happening is people learn. You got to learn the system in order to survive. I saw an article where they were asking our young women, our young black women in school what they want to be and what they want to do in life. And three of the young girls, one of the young girls started it and the other two agreed. They said, well, what do you want to be in life? Well, I want to be a mother. Right? Oh, she said, oh, so you want to get married and have a family? She said, no, ma'am, I don't want to get married. I just want to have the babies because he going to have to pay child support. Ooh. He going to have to take care of them kids. I was like, well, whoa. So you don't want a family with it. You just like, I don't need no man for nothing.
Right.
You, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the mindset of some.
And the Pookie and Ray Rays will oblige. They'll be like, heck yeah, well, all right, you put me on child, I don't make no money no way. Well, you gonna get blood from a turnip?
Yeah. So I seen a thing on TikTok not too long ago, and it was a question that was like, they said, say something that you'll make a statement that'll make the world mad.
Oh.
So the guy came under there and said there'd be a whole lot more deadbeat moms and deadbeat dads if it wasn't for assistance.
If it wasn't for assistance.
If it wasn't for assistance.
Man.
That was crazy. That was real deep. But that was like, it made sense. You know, in a way, but you know, it's not like no knock against nobody who has assistance.
Yeah.
But there are some women out there that, you know, would be just as deadbeat as a man would.
Oh, sure it would be.
You know, if it wasn't for that assistance, the fact that they know that, you know, They'll put them somewhere where they rent $25. They paying for the water and stuff like that. But then right around here saying men ain't
Yeah. Man, you know what? I know some single fathers.
Yeah.
I know some single.
Single
I was a single father.
I was at first.
Yeah.
Good single father.
And if you go out there to the place of the Section 8 housing, how many men do you see out there?
Right.
They look like they offer it for men, but there's a couple of things that play into that. One, they look down on you, so then the man's pride,
You can't
the man's pride is infected at that point to where the point is like, you know what, never mind. You know, because they make you feel like, you know, but let a woman come in there, they come on. Come on, open arms, and don't know what this man's been going through. Man got, you know, he might have girl might have not been able to take care of the kids, so he wanted to step up, but he needs some kind of help, to get on his feet.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
It's nothing wrong, but the thing is, y'all, we gotta wake up, man.
We do,
and we gotta have unified. But there needs to be to a point to some people need to say to themselves, I got accountability for that. You need to disassociate yourself with these agendas that don't line up with the overall goal of unity with us, y'all. Because a lot of people, it's bad that you can say that, and to my Hispanic kings and Hispanic sisters, queens, it's bad when you got other races that say that, oh my God, Hispanic people stick together. And it's a beautiful thing. They stick together. I mean, you see the largest families, and you'll see the mother, father, all these people in the same household, laughing, everything, and they don't let these little minute things come in between. Of course, it's some that do, because America is a big influencer. You know what I'm saying? America.
Sure.
But when you see their families, I see some of our beautiful queens and kings out there that they'll be out there with their family at the park. They'll be having family activities. My Samoan kings and Samoan queens, y'all out there with your families. Now you look around at us. If we get a gathering together, they're going to be scared. They're going to be like, hey, we need a police presence. There's a big gathering of, I don't know what they're doing, but we're not used to seeing this. You know what I'm saying? And then we got people, especially our kings that's in the law enforcement area. I can just imagine how tough that is, man.
Yeah.
I can just imagine how tough that is today. Because it's like, well, man, dang, what am I supposed to do? I mean, the kids are out here, they might be doing wrong, but then you look at them as they're your own children. It's like, hey, man, stop. But the disrespect.
Oh, yeah.
It's because entitlement. Who are they watching?
Yep.
If you have a parent that is sitting there telling you, you ain't got to listen to them people like that. Don't let nobody put your... School is different. You can't even discipline somebody's kid because the parent... My child ain't do nothing like that, and they know their child bad as hell at home.
Right.
I'm talking about absolute terror at home, disrespecting them. Then you come to a school and you going to tell the teacher, it's your fault, such and such and such. And once again... Not saying that there might not be a couple teachers out there that's doing wrong, but you sure gonna know it.
Yeah.
You gonna know it. We got to get a handle on this, Miss Griggs.
Yeah, we do. I mean, really. And the family structure is the key.
Yes.
Coming back, working on strengthening the family. I mean, really, we've got to. That's the key right there. And the family... It's starting from Adam and Eve, you know, in the Bible. There was a family structure.
Yes. And
that was the key right there. And we're so distorted now as a family. I think that is so important that the government, if they want to give money away, say, you know, we'll help. Whatever you need for the family, we'll work with you in programs to bring the family back together.
Yes.
Okay? Instead of sending millions of dollars across the water to these other places that could care less about us. I mean, really. You know?
I get it. I'm all for helping. I know that we're America, y'all.
Yeah.
I know, and look, just so you can know how knowledgeable I am. I know a lot of times we give money because we are really trying to get information and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because we need to stay in charge that way. I get that, but that much money? When we start hitting the B's, billions.
Okay, really.
When we start hitting billions and we looking at high gas prices, we got groceries going up, right? And now what people are failing to realize is that when you go to a fast food restaurant, you're dealing with AI.
Sure you are.
I went to the drive-through window and I thought it was just regular. I thought, in the beginning, there's hi, welcome to Checkers.
Right.
You need to take your order. I'm waiting for the lady to say, oh, hey, welcome to Checkers. Take your order. The AI system said, go ahead and order. I'll be taking your order today.
Right. And AI is going to put a lot of people out of jobs.
And they don't understand
They
that.
don't understand
Walmart.
what's happening.
Oh, Walmart
making you work.
Look,
They sure
look.
are.
I come to Walmart to a grocery shop, but I'm checking out my own stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, and then I know we're like, oh no, I want more money. I think fast food we should be making $25 an hour and everything. Man, economics don't work that way, man.
But guess what? Out in California, it's $20 an hour, right?
No businesses.
But look at a lot of businesses are closing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's right. They can't afford it. And then also the price of what you're buying.
Yes,
The fast
goes
food.
up.
I mean, really. So
There's no balance.
no, it's not a balance at all. It's a sad situation we're in right now.
Yeah.
It is.
But we
Yeah.
just have to try to live the best that we
That's
can.
all you can. That's all I try to do.
And to our fellow man, do the right thing by them,
Yes.
and not try to hurt anybody. But I think America may be in for a rude awakening.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
really, I won't be surprised that anything happens anytime that you see the news and. They're already here. Terrorist cells are already
Oh, my
here
gosh.
all over.
Did y'all see the one with the guy he came across, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were recording him, right? And he was upset for the recording. And the guy looked him dead in their face in the camera and said, you do not know who I am, but soon you will know exactly who I am. That's what he said. Guess what? Somebody looked at his picture. You know how people find stuff, right? They found that he was a terrorist leader that crossed over the border. And he told him, you don't know who I am now, but you will soon know who I am. And it's amazing to me, right, that we have all these people that's going on the bandwagon behind the whole thing that's across seas. And they're shutting down our college campuses.
Right. I know.
Our Ivy League schools.
See that?
And they think that we're wrong for we're trying to get our kids education. That's not what. Why are you at the schools doing it? Why are you not in Washington if you got a big problem? Because college campuses can't do nothing about it.
No, really.
What are they gonna do? Well, what do you want us to do? You want us to meet your demands and what? To give money? What is going on, y'all?
Right.
I know. It's interesting. Just watch, right? We're gonna see even more.
Look, man, I got you. I got you engineered. Look, we got 2 minutes. I got it. But look, man, I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm loving the realness right now. I thoroughly enjoyed it, y'all. Kings and Queens, it's nothing but love. I appreciate y'all watching today. We're going to get down to the last things that people want to say. We're going to start with King Myers. King Myers, is there anything you want to tell them today before we sign off?
Ooh, wasn't expecting to have no. It's usually the honorary person that's here that does this.
They get that too.
I see. I mean, not much. Just everyone. Let's just try to come together. And I'm not just talking about black folks.
Right.
I'm talking about white, Hispanics, all ethnicities.
Yes.
I have a bad word of saying that. I'm a little country, a little bit, But I think we all need to come together for a common goal because at the end of the day, we're all struggling right now. Yeah. We're all affected. Don't matter who you are, you're affected by what's going on in this world. And I think when we come together and realize like we all have a common goal, and that's just to survive.
Really?
Where everybody's in survival mode right now.
They
Yes,
sure
they
are.
are.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
And me and my wife had a conversation. We have a conversation every other now and then. And before we found out she was pregnant, we always asked, "Do we really want to bring a child into this world?" Right
That's
now?
bad to have that thought.
It
too.
is, isn't it?
You
But
know?
I understand. Go ahead.
You know, it you know, compared to what's going on in this world right now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
kids can't even go to school safe. Like when we
Yeah.
growing up, was the one thing we ever had to worry about was tornado drills.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Tornado
really.
drills, like that's what we always practice. Now
Yeah.
these kids are, you never know if you're gonna send your kid to school and
I
that be the
know.
last time you see
Whether or
them.
not they come back home. Yeah.
You know, so you know, let's try to bring back the old school. Let's try to
Yeah.
bring back the grandmas
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the moo-moos on.
Oh, you talking about the
right.
family structure?
Yeah,
the
that'll come
family
back.
structure.
That'll come to school and embarrass you. You be like, man, who grandma is that? And you know the person who grandma is because that's the head that's down. Like,
You know it, don't you? You know it.
or you didn't even have to ask because you already knew who grandma. Ooh, Mark in
Yeah.
trouble.
Right? In
Mark
the
your-
school, in the
Mark your-
classroom.
yeah, Mark-
They knew you were in
They-
trouble.
yeah.
Nowadays, they just look at each other like, oh, whatever.
Whatever, you know. So you know, let's just try to bring back the old school way of living.
Hey, look, I completely agree with you. And Queen Griggs is here. And what I'm going to do before I let her speak on her last topic that she wants to talk about, I'm going to use one of her favorite quotes. Her favorite quote is, "Injustice against one is an injustice against all." That is all inclusive, y'all.
It is.
Yes, we spoke a lot about what's going on with the black people, the melanated culture, right?
Right.
But we speak about that because that's something that we see that we need. That's something that we see that there's separation that needs to be unified,
Yeah.
right? But an injustice against one is an injustice against all. Queen Griggs, what is it that you would like to tell them today, if you don't mind?
Well, what I would like to say is that I am running for Congress.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's not about me, okay? It's about you, our children, our
Yes.
children's children. And to make a difference in this world, in this country, okay, for all of us. And back to what we talked about a lot tonight was the family.
Yes.
I think we've got to start there. You know, respect, decency, but we got to have that family. We got to work on that family structure, and even at the government level, instead
Yes.
of the government breaking up the family, we got to come together and work. But anyway, I am running for Congress. I am not running as a Democrat or as a Republican. I'm running as an independent.
Independent, yes.
But guess what? In order to even get on the ballot for November, I've got to collect signatures. Okay, there's
Oh, wow.
15 counties, so I've got to collect almost 20-something thousand signatures in order just to get on the ballot.
Can they do it online?
Nope, I asked them that you got to be wet signatures.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So what they're doing is they're kind of constructively trying to keep anybody else from running except for these two parties.
Right.
Even some third world countries, other countries, got more than two parties. They got a lot of parties, okay? And so, but this is America, right? This is our democracy. So anyway, I need your help. The people's help and helping me get these signatures so I can get on the ballot in November. I can't be bribed and I can't be bought. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to give you my phone number, 912-316-6009. Please call me if you can help us get these signatures on this petition.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
So please,
Yeah.
and I ask that you help.
Yes.
And I thank you all for allowing me to be here. This has been great. You know, it really has. And
Thank you.
I thank you all so very much.
Look, no, thank you. Owner and chief executive of the Griggs Group Limited Liability Company. She did have that, and she's retired from it now, but this is something that she did from 2010 to 2020. Not only that, she's the chief executive officer of the Military Justice Information Center from 2019. Chief executive deputy director of the United States Army. She also the membership is crazy, y'all. She's a life member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. She is also a member of National Council of Negro Women. She's also a member of American Legion You hear me? Since 2019. Member of Veterans of Foreign War. Member of the Wounded Warrior Project. Also, Service Commander Military Order of World Wars since 2000. Look, and the list goes on. The list goes on, folks. So, you heard what she said. She needs your support.
Yes.
I don't care if you think you got your candidate in your head or who you want to vote for. Guess what? Why don't you give somebody else the opportunity to also show you what they have to offer you? Not just the two that they want you to see. Not just the two that they want you to see. That's because right. There's so many other things out here that we can get across to the people. There's so many other messages that have been seen as, not as important as everybody else's. Mm-hmm. So just like we've been fighting all these years to be heard, to show people who we are as a people, the voices are still being silenced, y'all. Mm-hmm. Voices are still being silenced, y'all. It's gotta stop.
Gotta stop.
We got so many good people that's out there representing us, and then we have so many people out there that could be representing us in spots that you're like, man, I really don't want to vote for them. Well, you know the reason why you're saying that to yourself? Because the other people, you don't even know that they're running. And when you get in there in the ballot, I know you're not gonna have the time to fill it in because we too entitled with just pressing. Oh, I know that person. Let me press that button. They've disassociated us so much from politics to just believe what we blindly see on the internet or the media stations.
Yes.
Which that we have no control over. Once again. And I'm gonna tell you this also, this whole thing with the TikTok ban, y'all need to look into that, because when you had a voice, the people like Ms. Griggs had a voice on these platforms. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't care what you think the background is, because I believe China already got all that information.
Oh, they got it.
What do they need out that you seeing our everyday life? What else information can they get that's not already readily available?
Right.
They got census places that sell our information anyway.
They do. Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about, man? So we can give out all these billions of dollars. We can have our homeless on the street. We can have rising bills, rising everything. But we are worried about a TikTok. We worried about banning TikTok. Oh, and you're getting your information. They got it already.
Yep.
They got it already. So, look, hey, 1 second. Look, I want to tell you, kings and queens, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping in. I appreciate you listening. And you know I love you guys. Don't forget to go to YouTube, like and subscribe to Black Kings Free Game. Much love, Miss Griggs. Thank you, Queen Griggs, so for coming by. Thank you, King Myers, for coming through. And everybody, it's your boy King Conda, the people's champ. And I'm mad.